I have a question for the rest of America. Does anyone even care about Nebraska?
Hello, welcome back. I've been seeing this everywhere. People asking, does anyone care for Nebraska? Okay, this is it. Before I give you my opinion, do you think people care for Nebraska? I don't care for Nebraska. Unapologetic, uncensored, I do not care for Nebraska. Nebraska knew what was coming its way as soon as they decided to vote for Trump. They knew this was coming. They voted for hate and let them face it.
What about Nebraska? What about Nebraska? Does anyone not care about Nebraska? Why should they? Coming from somebody who lives in Omaha, Nebraska, us blue voters, we did our part, okay? Including Lincoln. And what's so funny is I keep seeing all these farmers showing up on my For You page now because I live in Nebraska and that's all I'm going to see. What did y'all think was going to happen? Y'all are the ones that voted for this orange guy. I do not feel sorry for y'all because there are going to be consequences for your actions. And the fact that you thought you wouldn't be affected by this, so I'm going to hold y'all hand when I tell y'all this. Get y'all friends, get off them phones and get in the field, okay? Pun intended. Y'all's racism actually overpowered y'all livelihood and now y'all are seeing what's happening in real time. I don't feel sorry for y'all. So many of y'all are so upset that y'all workers aren't showing up to work. Oh, that's really unfortunate, love. But to my Omaha Nebraskans and my Lincoln Nebraskans, I stand with y'all. We knew this would happen and we tried our best. And to the rest of you, I don't wish you good luck. Good riddance. And I don't even talk about politics, but I'm gonna get this video to a minute because I just know someone's gonna be in my comments screaming and yelling till they red in the face.
I'm on the who's gonna care about Nebraska side of TikTok, or does anybody care about Nebraska? And I'm watching white people like respond to that white woman like, Nebraska didn't care about Nebraska. Who did you think was going to be in those positions of the immigrants you're losing, blah, blah. And they're missing the point. Nebraskans thought that niggas was going to go back. Like they thought they had the early 1800s back. That's what you're not seeing. It's not like they didn't think about that. No, they knew, okay, we'll lose our immigrants, but we're going to get our slaves back. And that, my good friends, is the problem.
Blacks are the people who believe and appreciate karma, and they are happy that this is happening to them. This is exactly F-A-F-O. F around and find out. So they did F around and now they're finding out. Let me tell you, Nebraska, 65% of Nebraska workers are undocumented. And since Trump passed the immigration law, of course, all these workers have to leave Nebraska. So these farm owners are going to work on their farms. If not, they will have to sell their farms to bigger corporations. And guess what? That's where the family legacy ends. Someone else is going to enjoy these farm owners' legacies because of their bad choices.
So the big question on TikTok right now is, does anybody care about Nebraska? Super quick. Is this y'all? Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off this early. So first of all, no one gives a fuck that that's happening to you. You deserve it. Second of all, next time that there is an election, let's not be so simple-minded. Especially when the man that you're voting for literally fucking told you he would cut federal funding for your farms. He would deport all of your workers, and now you want us to give a fuck? I'm sorry, bitch. He literally said it in his campaign. Like, do your fucking homework. The worst part, educated individuals like myself voted for you, but guess what? Your vote counts just as much as mine, even though you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
It's literally exhausting being a millennial, defending millennials, when I see a video of the Nebraska girl asking, does anybody care about her state, not realizing her state FAFO'd when they decided to vote red, and now all of these undocumented immigrants have fled up out of Nebraska to go to states where it is safe to work and live in peace in the United States. See, that's the thing. Y'all think that you can just opt in or out of politics when you want to. Politics are all around us. They're unavoidable. When you get your groceries, when you get sick and need health care, when you are taking your kids to school in the morning, when you're deciding who you want to marry, politics are involved in all of the decisions you make on a day-to-day basis. So sis, when you're asking, does anybody care about Nebraska? The first people you should be asking that question to are the people who went to the ballot box and voted for someone who does not have your best interests at heart.
65% of the farm workers who work under minimum wage, these are immigrant workers, and due to the immigration law, they all lost their jobs, and they all left the state of Nebraska. Let me ask you, give it a thought. Why would people care about Nebraska when Nebraska doesn't care about Nebraska? Nebraska didn't care about itself the day they decided to vote for Trump. Okay?
So at this point, does Nebraska even care about Nebraska? I don't really know because I don't follow the politics like that, but it seems like they're in their FAFO phase, and it is what it is. We're finding out. Y'all were told, but you still did it anyway, so yeah, here we are.
Really quick, as a Nebraskan, I have to chime in with, does anybody care about Nebraska? Not anymore. I did when I went to the polling place and cast my vote for Harrison Walls. I don't anymore because y'all voted for who you voted for. So no, I don't care even a little bit. Sucks to suck.
I fear we have to talk about that "does anybody care about Nebraska" video. When I recorded that video, it was just a random thought I had while I was driving around. It wasn't in any sort of political reference to anything. It was just a random thought of, I wonder if anyone's like thinking about Nebraska. And their response was overwhelmingly, no, not at all. Not for a damn second. Which, fair enough, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere and there's not a lot going on here. I think what I didn't expect and what became like very surprising to me, because I'm not a political content creator, the comments got very, very political and hateful. And I just want to make one thing extremely clear. This is not a Trump hat. Just because it's red does not mean it's a Trump hat. This is a Nebraska Cornhuskers hat. It's for our football team and sports. Yay, go Nebraska. I do not support the whole like Trump, MAGA, whatever's happening there. And it is very concerning. It is. But that's not something that I talk about online. So just making it perfectly clear, I do not endorse that. I do not support that. Okay? I think it's a divisive system, two feathers of the same bird, and it wants us to be divisive and hateful and do these things that we're doing in the comments when my belief system is that humans are way more than their political beliefs, and we need to come together and find common ground. I truly do care about my community and Nebraska as a whole, and it does hurt when things are happening that are out of my control. That doesn't mean I would ever wish ill on anyone who thinks or believes differently than me. Listen, I know Nebraska has issues. It is not always sunshine and rainbows here, but for the overwhelming majority of my 32 years here, I see kindness everywhere. Like just last month, there was a really cold like freeze thing. Our local homeless shelter posted on Facebook that they needed supplies, and the community, it doesn't matter like who they, like the whole community showed up and like completely overwhelmed them with more supplies than they could ever need. Not could ever need, but like they filled their bank. Our community did that and came together, and they didn't ask before they donated or supported the homeless shelter, hey, who'd you vote for? I also, like, I'm leaving room for people who don't have the same experiences that I do, so I can listen and learn, and we can have constructive, productive, constructive conversations, like, around these things. My content, it's never going to be political. This will probably be the most political video that I ever make. That's just not my lane, and I'm not gonna get out of my lane. Like, that's not my lane. My lane is just making fun content about Nebraska and the life that I live here. So yeah, at the end of the day, I guess thanks for thinking about Nebraska for a couple seconds, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Love you. Bye.
Thank you for watching Great Minds Blogs, and for more content like this, subscribe, comment, and leave a like. Thank you.